I'll stick to YouTube, I don't do theatre. Good morning and welcome to the second day of my tour of Provence. And today I'm off to another historic town here in this region of France. I'm off to Arles. And today I'm going to walk around another Roman circus, discover some more fantastic Roman history, and hopefully visit an amphitheatre. This is one trip that I've been looking forward to since I planned this trip last year. But I'm travelling there today by train. Here in Arles, only 30 minutes from Nîmes on the train. 9 euros for a single ticket, 18 for the return, which I purchased. But it's really rather pleasant walking down the River Rhine here, down by the banks. Forecast is a bit cloudy and overcast. Should be sunny later, but do I trust the French weather forecasters? I've got to, really. They say it should brighten up later, so hopefully they're right and we'll get to the 18 degrees that's been forecast. But it's absolutely lovely. No breeze. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. So let's walk up the steps in front of me and visit the ruins of a Roman bathhouse. And looking at the outside of it, still some amazing brickwork. Wow. Wonder what the inside's like and just how well preserved that is. Go through the entrance and find out. These baths were built in the 4th century, around 370 to 430 AD, during the reign of Emperor Constantine. And they're in remarkably good condition, given the fact they were reused as makeshift dwellings. Most of the Roman aspect of this structure has since been lost to time, but there's still some remains from those days. And just around here you can see the hypercoarse tiles, all piles of Roman bricks supporting the floor above. There would have been a furnace, and the heat from the furnace would have blasted hot air underneath the floors to heat the building. First central heating in Roman times. And these are really remarkable to see. Very good condition. So let's take a walk up through here. There's an archway up here. So let's take a look through this archway and see where this goes. Look and see. Looks like this might be one of the furnaces that heated the underfloor, the hypercoarse area. Let's just go back through here, through this archway again, and explore a different area of this structure. Let's walk up the stairs in front of me and see where they go. Just climb up the wall, well, climb over the wall using these steps, and go down into the little room here in the base of this, what would you call it, a rotunda, I suppose. You can see more of the hypercoarse layer. Gosh. Yeah, more bricks supporting the floor. And perhaps there's another furnace entrance just ahead of me. Just a shame there's no real information boards up here to see exactly what I'm looking at. But it's interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Let's go back up these steps anyway, because there are some steps on the far end. So we'll head over those and see what we can see over there. Taking a bath in Roman times was a daily activity, also a social activity as well. Women would go first, always in the afternoons, and then the men would follow afterwards. And it'd be a series of hot and cold baths. They'd use the tepidarium for the warm waters, which we get the English word tepid from, and the frigidarium for the cold water, or where we get the English word fridge from. And here we got the frigidarium, the tepidarium in the middle, and the coldarium right at the far end. 3 different pools that the Romans would have bathed in. Really rather interesting. They're still basically in situ. You can see the entrance to the furnace as well, for the underfloor heating. Really rather interesting. Let's go down these stairs here and see what's down here. I'm not sure what this room was, but there's some more hypercoarse tiling here holding up the Roman floor, and there's an entrance through in the into the caldarium, another one of the pools that they bathed in. Really interesting. There's so much here. Quite surprised actually just how much of the remains of Roman ruins are actually still standing here in the south of France. Really rather interesting. And another room here as well. I'm not sure what this one was. There's no information boards up. Normally you come to an attraction like this, there are information boards that tell you what each of the rooms were, with some illustrated diagrams. There aren't here for some reason. Just have to try and work out what everything is. But now let's head on up towards the Roman Circus and see what we can discover up there, and take a look at the museum as well. It's quite a walk up from the Roman baths to get to the circus, and it's really rather pleasant up here. Now I come down to one of the turning points on the far end of the circus. The blocks in front of me indicate the fact that this is the opposite end to where the starting gates would have been. They'd have been somewhere at the far end towards the end of the town area, and they would have raced around the track. And this would have been the first turning area at the Mete, at the end of the Spina, the central band which ran down the middle of the track. And this track was built around 150 AD, 150 CE in the Common Era, and was about 450 metres long. So it's quite a large track, and therefore they could race quadrigas here, which was a chariot pulled by 4 horses. You've probably all seen the film Ben-Hur. Well, that marvellous film starring Charlton Heston, he raced quadrigas around the Roman circus in the film. And that's a great depiction of what life would have been like here, watching the spectacle of the chariot racing. Must have been absolutely incredible to see that. But I visited a Roman circus a couple of years ago in Colchester in England. They have a a set of starting gates preserved there, in situ, been rebuilt, but in situ. And there's a nice little visitor centre there. And I made a video on the visitor centre some years ago. And if you watch that video, then you will see quadrigers racing around the track there at Colchester. Obviously 3D animation of that racetrack. But it's really nice to see here. And there's not much left of the main track. There's the main central spina is all gone. And the obelisks and other items that have been on the spina, they've all gone, which is a shame. They've turned this into some lovely grounds here. And there's a main road going through the middle. There we go. But now I'm going to head into the museum. There's a lovely museum on my left hand side. So I'm going to head in there and see what they've got, and hopefully find some more information about the circus here, and I'll put any more information up on the screen. The museum was absolutely amazing inside. So many artifacts from the Roman era, from our sarcophaguses to statues and models of the various Roman remains that are in Arles, the amphitheatre and the circus, just to name two. But I've walked into the Hortus. It's the garden here. The English word horticulture comes from the Latin hortus, meaning garden. And this one is shaped like a Roman circus. Absolutely beautiful. A little windy today, but at least it's not raining. Unlike my previous adventures, it's not raining, which is good. But the highlight for me in that museum was seeing the boat. 5th century boat that sank in the river, and they recovered it a few years ago, complete with its cargo of stone. Absolutely incredible to see that. So well preserved. But anyway, let's head on into town and try and find the Roman amphitheatre and some other Roman artifacts and remains. Well, whatever they got in the centre of Arles. So I'll leave you some pictures of the Hortus. I'll make my way into town. Must have walked miles today. Nice walk this morning along the banks of the River Rhone, down towards the ruins of the Roman Circus and the museum, and now I've walked back into the centre of town to the theatre, the old Roman theatre. Here you'll watch plays and other forms of entertainment. And there's quite a remarkable amount which is still here. The rows of seating. It's only really the stage area and the columns that would have formed the backdrop to the stage, which are no longer visible. But the whole, the walls around the complex and the bits out the back as well, all the rooms that would have been underneath the seating area, are all relatively sort of intact, even though they're ruins. Really rather pleasant sitting up here. And I think no matter where you would have sat in Roman times, you still had a good view over what was happening on the stage. The only question is, would I hear what was going on? Because I never had modern PA systems in those days. So perhaps the design of the theatre carried people's voices up into the audience. Really rather interesting here. I'm going to take a walk round now down one of the vomitoriums, really, the passageways that goes down into the steps and round to the back, and we'll have a look and to see what's through there, and look at some of the ruins that are at the front of the stage. So while I catch my breath, I'll leave you with some pictures of the inside of the amphitheatre. It's really rather interesting just walking around here. So much to see, so much stonework. And after nearly 2,000 years, it's still in remarkably good condition. The amphitheatre was built around the time of Jesus, around 2,000 years ago. And given the history of the south of France, it's pretty amazing really that it's actually survived. But out the back here are some, I'm not sure what they are, look like rooms on the back. Maybe they might have been shops or something, selling souvenirs of the day or food. I'm not sure. There's no information signs up anywhere here to actually say what each part was, which is rather a shame. Given the €9 entrance fee, I would have thought they might have done a little more than just leave tourism up to the Romans. That's a shame. But it's an interesting little walk through here at the back. People in Roman times sort of walked through here and up the steps through the vomitorium area into the amphitheatre and take their seats. Similar arrangement with the amphitheatres. Dignitaries at the front, men in the middle, and women at the back. Really rather nice here. Walking around. Let's walk a little bit further and see what's up the end here. There is a tower up here. It's like one of the entrance gates into the outside world. So we'll see what we can discover up here. See if there are any information plaques. Not holding up much hope. Yeah, just walk through here and up into an area filled with stones. This is all the rubble from the stage area. Bits of column and other decorative pieces of masonry and stonework. So this would have been above the entrance gates or part of the staging area. It's just collected here. Let's walk back towards the back of the stage area and see what's there. Again, there's no information boards here at all to explain just what area of the theatre they're actually standing in. I'm guessing there's something to do with the backstage area. Would make sense. It's rather disappointing actually. €9 and no information boards. Normally when you go to these tourist attractions there are information boards, but there's nothing here. Great shame. But some large pieces of masonry. I think some are probably in situ, indicating side buildings. And there's some more masonry behind me against the outer wall. Obviously the remains of the buildings and the stage area. But it's interesting looking at the stage area because just walk up these steps. Some of the columns at the back are made of marble. And marble's very hard material to work with, so only master craftsmen would have worked on it. But there we go on the stage. Very rather nice up here. Not that I'm a thespian in any way. I wouldn't command an audience. I'll stick to YouTube, I don't do theatre. But here I am on the stage at the theatre in Arles. And I'm going to end the video here. I've had a fantastic day just walking through the town, walking along the Rhone, up to the Circus and that fantastic museum. I've walked through the back streets here and there's definitely more to see, and I'm definitely going to come back here on another occasion and spend several days just walking around because I think there's more to discover here in Arles. Tomorrow I'm spending it in Nîmes. I'm going to walk around some of the more historical areas of Nîmes and discover a tower. That's all coming up tomorrow. And then on Monday, day after tomorrow, I'm going to take the bus up to Grenoble before heading for a few days, before heading down to Avignon towards the end of next week. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because there's certainly much more to come on this trip. Thanks for watching.